Hello everybody, welcome back to Italy for the 74th edition of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations with me, Paul Malin, and Fly Racing's Jason Thomas. Race 3 is about to get underway here at Mantova, where the racetrack has pretty much been battered by rain since about 11 o'clock this morning, and the good news is, though, the rain has dispersed, or if it's still raining outside, it is not as bad. So I think we will have a drying racetrack in parts, and but it's still pretty rutty outside. They've fixed the start and the first straight past pit lane, but it's still going to be a challenge, and we'll do all the pros, cons scenarios, the results of where we're at in a few moments. We will see some highlights from race 1 and race 2 imminently, actually. And while the riders take their positions down on the gate, maybe Jason just keep an eye on as the riders do go to the line, so we get to see who's gone where for each nation. But it is going to be a fascinating race. How much pressure on the shoulders of Jeffrey Herlings and Glenn Coldenoff? Let's take a look at what's happened so far today in race 1 and race 2. The first race of the day then, MXGP and MX2. And down into the first turn, Tony Cairoli, Glenn Coldenoff, they tipped over at the first turn as Arno Tonis took the foxhole shot. Carlos Sablis led the way, though, from Jose Boutron. Cairoli and Coldenoff picked themselves up, and they would have 15th and 21st places, respectively. Early on, though, Vial fell from second. He lost a few positions, picked himself up in 5th place. But Thomas Kjær Olsen went on the charge for Denmark. He made that move on the number 31 of Arno Tonis to move into 3rd, and then around the outside of Jose Boutron to move into 2nd place by the time we'd hit lap 3. Tom Vial, the lead MX2 rider and the lead rider for France, made the move on the Latvian to go into 2nd, and then Guadagnini ended up knocking him down from 6th as they tagged, but it was a win for Olsen, Vial 2nd, Watson 3rd. After race 1, France led on 11 points, Belgium were 2nd, Britain, Italy, MFR, Denmark and Austria. Race 2 was just a few moments ago. More drama as Valentin Guillot led coming out of the first turn. There was a couple of crashes coming down into turn 2. But it was Herlings who quickly moved into the lead when he made that move on Valentin Guillot of Switzerland. He then ran wide, allowed Renny Hoffer, the lead MX2 rider from Austria, up into 2nd place, and he would stay there for a number of laps. Then Tom Vial, your winner for the MX2 class and 2nd in race 1, went out with a chain sprocket issue. Mattia Guadagnini fell, picked himself up and would eventually come home in 6th. Mathis Boisromé of France also had a nightmare, dropped down to 25th at one point, got himself back to 19th. Alessandro Lupino also had problems whilst in 6th. He eventually came home in 7th as his teammate went through. No problems for Jeffrey Herlings, though. He picked up a point for the Netherlands. Guillot of Switzerland 2nd, Hoffer 3rd, Van Donnick 4th for Belgium, and Germany came home 5th. And as we go into the final race, Italy lead by a point over Belgium, MFR are 10 behind them, and then Great Britain. In fact, those graphics are incorrect because it is 39 for Italy, 40 Belgium, 51 Great Britain, MFR 51 and Netherlands 54. France, for those who are very much interested, on 68. They are in 8th, but they have a 38-point score to drop from Vial's result in that 2nd race. Here's how the riders line up then for MXGP and Open. Glenn Coldenoff and Jeffrey Herlings, Patrell, Boisromé, Cairoli, Lupino, Watson, Simpson. There you get the gist. An interesting race coming up, Jason Thomas. We've got the riders lining up in a moment. Jeffrey Herlings has decided to go to the inside gate for the Netherlands, and so too has Tony Cairoli.
Yeah, all of the stars really went to the inside this time, so it was interesting to watch the strategy. Cairoli, Watson, Herlings, everybody. All
right, let's go down to the grid then real quick, because Lisa did catch up with Cairoli and Jeannot, 2 teams who are just 1 point apart.
We are almost ready for the final race of the day. After this race, we will find out who will lift that Chamberlain trophy. Now, I have to speak to Team Belgium's Cyril Jeannot, and the moment it's just 1 point separating you and Team Italy. Things are getting real now, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. I had a pretty good first moto. Personally, you know, had a decent start, but worked my way up to 6th, which is pretty good for myself, you know. So, and my teammates did great. Brent went 4th, and Liam did 2 great motos in between the 450s. So, Now we are choosing to give Brent the best gate pick, so I'll be pretty far outside, but I'll do my best and we'll try to get on that box. So that's our plan. And
personally for you as well, Cyril, I know it was a last-minute call up for you to come to the Motocross of Nations. It's the first time here. I mean, silly question, but are you enjoying your experience so far?
Yeah, for sure. And every time you have like the results you want, it's pretty cool, you know. Yeah, I need to be really happy right now. Did a great first moto, and hopefully I can put everything together, and we all, as a team, can be up there. I think that's the plan, and that's what we're gonna try to do. So hopefully.
Good luck to you and the team. Thanks, Cyril.
Thank you.
The final rider I'd like to grab a few words with is Team Italy, is Tony Cairoli. Tony, at the moment, Team Italy at the top of that leaderboard. Anything can happen, but at this stage, things are looking good.
Yeah, everything is looking okay, but you know, still long, and with this kind of condition, everything is possible. So first moto, I had a crash in the start. I hit again a little bit my back and in the crash, so I was feeling quite painful in that moto. I couldn't push, and hopefully now with some painkillers I can make it a little better and try to finish on the podium. It's our goal, so winning is even better.
Best of luck. Thanks, Tony. Good luck to Tony and all the guys here. It's time for the final race of the day, Open and MXGP categories.
And we are back live then with the race as it's about to go. We've got a green flag being raised imminently over on the backside of the grid, and there is Tony Cairoli in gate number 1, Jason Thomas.
Yeah, this is his best chance. He was on the outside in the first race of the day, ended up on the ground. So if the home crowd wants to see a hero ride, here's your chance.
The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend at the 74th edition of the FIM Motocross, Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. And Miro Sievonen over on this far side gate for Finland. But all the big hitters down the inside there. That's where we're going to keep our eye. There's a couple in the middle as well with Guarame and the number 1 of Glenn Koldenoff, who looks like to get a good jump as well. But Herlings closes the door on Cairoli. Koldenoff with a good jump coming out of the first turn. Cole Olsen, I think, is down. He is. TKO is off, and Lupino has ended up on the inside of turn 1.
The two biggest stars of the race, though, out front with Watson in third. So if we wanted a showdown, we've got it.
And look at Carlos Sablis again in there in 4th place. So drama in the first couple of corners as Thomas Kjær Olsen, your winner from race 1, going down for Denmark. And Lupino getting nudged off the side of the track going into turn 2. He has emerged somewhere, but we'll need to find out where. But for the Dutch, they are there in 1st and 6th. Watson is in 7th. Where's his teammate Sean Simpson? He's in 13th. More crucially, where are Team Belgium? Sorry, Watson 3rd, not 7th. But where is Team Belgium? The baby blue colours of Cyril Janot.
How will the race direction handle that move from Lupino there? That's the biggest question on lap 1 for me.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what does happen there. But Tony Cairoli in 2nd position. Team Belgium, Cyril Janot and Brent van Donnik 15th and 16th place. Fans urging Tony Cairoli forward.
Well, and you see Herlings picking up right where he left off, and he's trying to put in hot laps here to give himself some separation. Tony's trying to figure the track out. Remember, it's been a couple hours, and the lines have completely changed since the last time he was on the racetrack.
Yeah, and actually we were just discussing that as well before we came on air, how many of the riders went out on the sighting lap. Of course, Jeffrey Herlings didn't go on the sighting lap in race 2 or race 3 at the start of that because he had fresh knowledge from race 2. But the likes of Thomas Kjær Olsen, Glenn Koldenoff, they all went out having not ridden since the first race this morning.
A completely different story for Cairoli, too. And that first one, he probably couldn't see much, probably couldn't ride very well because he was covered in mud. This one, it seems like he's going to have a much different effort and much better start to the race. And that's the difference. If you get to start on that inside gate pick, you get the first choice on your team, it seems like the race goes much easier for you.
Good start for Ben Watson as well for Team Great Britain. Here he is, 3rd on his Monster Energy Yamaha, the number 7. His brother rode 7 at Assen 2 years ago, remember, and helped them onto the podium. It's been 27 years since they have last won this event.
Well, Watson just had a great weekend overall. Almost wins his qualifier yesterday. Great start to the day today and another good start here. So just a strong performance overall.
We'll get the riders over the line for the first lap. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Italy who are on top of the podium here. Where is Lupino in the race, actually? The 48 is in 7th place. We've got to ride it down in the first turn. Not sure who that is. And we only say that because we've got wave flags outside of our commentary position here. But it doesn't look like it's any of the top riders. There's Koldenoff just going through, bottom of the screen. Then Boirame for France. There's Lupino, front end high. And behind him, oh, it's I was going to say it's the Latvian rider, isn't it? Lithuanian rider, sorry. Dovydas Karka, number 82. Mattis Borromei, Team France. They are not going to finish on the podium as it stands right now after this first lap, but they will dig and dig deep. They had a shocker of a second race where Vial went out of a decent position, and Borromei also coming home in around 18th, 19th place. And Van Donnik has gone missing for Belgium as well. So all of a sudden, Belgium, who were in the running, now find themselves 5th as it stands right now, even with their worst result dropped. Glenn Coldenhoff picked himself up the deck in race 1. He's got a better start here. He was circulating in 5th position behind Carlis Sabalis of Latvia, who's had a fantastic Motocross of Nations here today.
Italy looking really nice right now with a 13-point gap. And really, they just need to keep it on 2 wheels. They don't have to do anything crazy here. Just not crash, avoid mechanical failure, and they can bring it home. This place will erupt if Italy ends up on top.
Well, put it this way, it'll make your job getting out of here slightly easier, because all the Italians that are around the racetrack, they will stay and they will party. Glenn Coldenhoff around the outside of Sabalis at the end of the straight into the finish turn, and he picks off the Latvian and moves up into 4th place. So Coldenhoff then still believes that there is a medal on the hand here, and maybe even a win if they can be lucky, but they would need to be very, very lucky, because we already see it's like 39 for them, 27 for Italy.
Well, Hurling's really putting in strong laps out front. As we watch his teammate Coldenhoff on screen, he just set the fastest lap of the race and the first sector, the fastest first sector. So you can tell his strategy is to put in the fastest laps possible early, and then he can cruise the second half of the race.
So Coldenhoff there in 4th place. He's got about, 6-7 seconds back to Ben Watson for Team GB. Be interesting to see what the lap times are this time around. Of course, Italy, the Netherlands, Great Britain, they are your top 3 in the classification so far. Italy have a lot of breathing space as it stands right now. In the race, Cairoli 2nd, Watson 3rd, Coldenhoff 4th, Sabalis 5th, Borromei 6th, Lupino 7, Bobryshev 8, Simpson 9, Bengtsson of Sweden 10, Paturel France 11, Brilyakov 12, Bastian Bodam Denmark, the lead Dane in 13th after Olsen crashed at the first turn. Then we have Havisto, Tonus, Stauffer, Jasikonis, Boutron, Petrov and Thomas Kier Olsen. That is a good charge through to 20th already. Jacobi is right the way down at the back for Germany, just behind Cyril Janot and Brent Van Donnik. So Belgium, their race, they're really falling apart, and that is one of the Belgians. That is Janot, isn't it? So in 2nd as they lined up for the race. Is this what happened to him? Back end problems maybe.
Well, all of the troubles that befell Team France in race 2 are befalling Team Belgium in race 3, and that's just how this race goes. You can have a perfect season put together and something will come up in Motocross of Nations. It always does. And
I know there's still a long way to go. 23.5 minutes plus 2 laps, of course. Tony Cairoli just 2 weeks ago announced his retirement from professional motocross racing. He dreamed of maybe getting a 10th world title. There's still time to maybe even achieve that. But the one event that he's not won, and of course he hasn't won it yet, would be the Motocross of Nations. They are on course at the moment, Team Italy, with Tony Cairoli and his best mate, Alessandro Lupino, with the hard work done from Mattia Guadagnini in races 1 and 2 in the MX2 category to maybe stand on the top step of the podium here. The only trophy he hasn't won as a professional.
Well, and we always say this race comes down to the MX2 class. If you can have a really strong MX2 performance, it puts so much pressure on the other teams to match that, and Guadagnini delivered.
So the difference between 2nd and 3rd place at the moment, the Netherlands and Great Britain. That's what it's going to come down to as well. Sean Simpson has moved into 8th position. He's found his way past Evgeny Bobryshev, I believe. Here's Tony Cairoli. Got cut off immediately out of the start. I think we said that would happen as well, off air. And the Netherlands are 1 point clear of GB, but will that correct itself this next time around when Simpson goes over the line? Are they looking at a silver medal?
Well, and you know the Italians had the calculators out, doing the math, trying to translate that information over to Tony Cairoli and Alessandro Lupino, because for them, just don't do anything dramatic here. You don't have to win the race. You don't have to try to match pace with Herlings. Just stay where you're at, and you bring this thing home.
22 minutes plus 2 laps to go. It's probably going to be the longest 22 minutes for Tony Cairoli and Alessandro Lupino, certainly for Alessandro Lupino, who is currently in 6th position in this race at the moment. The score that they can be throwing away is the 21st from Cairoli in race 1.
Well, and Tony's in a great spot here. Ben Watson really isn't applying any pressure at all. He's not concerned with Jeffrey Herlings out front. And we're talking about a 9-time champion, so he's no stranger to pressure. He's no stranger to the moment like this, and he looks comfortable. Doesn't look like he's really under pressure whatsoever.
At the moment, and here's the game changer, at the moment there is no rain out on the circuit, but just looking beyond the hills here at Mantova, the clouds are getting dark. It's looming in, I think, on the horizon, and we may get a rain shower or more before the end of this race is done. So at the moment, everybody's comfortable. They're in their comfort zone. Herlings 12 seconds clear of Cairoli, Watson third, Koldenhoff and Sabalis rounding out the top 5, but that may all change.
Yeah, Herlings 2 full seconds quicker than Cairoli in second, and 5 full seconds quicker than Ben Watson in third. So clearly the class of this field, I mean, he's been really untouchable all weekend. From every qualifying session, free practice, every race he's been out on the track. This has simply been Jeffrey Herlings' world.
So Glenn Koldenhoff gaining in momentum as well, going after Ben Watson. Obviously, there's only 1 point in it between the Netherlands in second, Great Britain in third. And of course, if Koldenhoff can find his way past Ben Watson, that puts the Netherlands on 3 and Great Britain on 4 in this race, with those 2 positions, third and fourth, of course. So Koldenhoff really starting to come into his own again then. But look how far behind. Herlings already around the middle hill. There's Watson at the top of the first hill. And here is Koldenhoff just starting to close in then, but he's still got some ground to make up. Goggle lane for Paturel.
Well, and it would be easy to say if you're, looking for a reason why the Netherlands hasn't lived up to the hype. You would point to the Koldenhoff first-turn crash, but you have to remember Tony Cairoli had a first-turn crash along with Koldenhoff. So they both had to overcome adversity today, and so far the Italians have done a better job of it.
And like you say, it goes down to the MX2 rider, Guadagnini, the lowest scorer in, he took 7 points, I think, all day.
Yeah, that's really been the difference. The performance of Guadagnini versus Roland van der Moosdijk has, given them, 12, 13-point advantages so far.
Yeah, 11 points he took, didn't he, with a... well, we'll get back to that in a moment, but Koldenhoff, picking himself up at the first turn. So too did Cairoli, but it's how their MX2 riders dealt with it. Roland van der Moosdijk was not as efficient through the field or off the starts as Mattia Guadagnini, for instance, for Team Italy in both races.
Well, and crashes and trips to the goggle lane, all those things add up. And at the end of the day, you look back and see where were the points, how did we lose points, and it's pretty easy to find.
It looks nice and bright outside, but it's anything but, and it's getting darker all the time here as we work our way through the clock. 18.5 minutes plus 2 to go. The final race of the day here at the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. Carlos Sabalis still sitting in a very respectable 5th place. He's got Alessandro Lupino behind him. Doesn't have to find his way past the Latvian, but you know what? Every point counts.
Outside of that crash with Guadagnini, Sabalis has been great. Great starts, great pace. Really impressive ride for a rider that I didn't know much about coming into this event.
Had a good EMX 250 sort of period a few years ago. But as I say, he's just been unlucky with the odd niggles here and there. So good to see him picking up the pace here as Lupino! Get yourself off the ground! Big crash for Lupino, picks himself up. There's Simpson going through.
And if you are the Italian team, you are beside yourself because you don't need to do anything. You don't need to press the issue. You don't need to pass Sabalis. And you wonder, have they been able to get that message to Lupino?
It all came from him over jumping into the wave and then catching a deep, soft patch, and he's gone again.
And you wonder, is this the nerves getting to him? Is he thinking about what's on the line here? Because all he had to do was just stay where he was, stay calm.
I wonder as well, when he fell, did he sort of hit his head when he crashed? So maybe he's just trying to sort of get rid of some sort of issues here. Because look, he's not even finding the lines at the moment.
Just a really unnecessary move all the way around. And I hope that the team was able to get that message to him. It'd be really unfortunate if he thought he needed to make a pass for some reason.
Looks like he's getting redialed in now, though, maybe. But a big moment for Italy, and we've still got 17 minutes plus 2 to go. And we'll get him over the line in a minute. But Ben Watson then moves up into, well, he stays there in third place, sorry. And he's kind of rectified the gap between himself and Glenn Coldenhoff. So Coldenhoff not closing in. There he is any moment now in the opposite direction. Yes, so he's got that whole straight between turns 4 and 5 over the Dutchman. And, oh, Ben Watson! Off the side of the bike, just grabbed his foot pegs. I was about to say they're tied on points, the Netherlands and Great Britain. But with that crash, Ben Watson losing points and positions here. He was very lucky to be able to pick himself up there, but a huge crash for the Brit. Electric start. Maybe he managed to keep it running, but, well, Italy and Great Britain in close succession. Mistakes from Lupino and now Watson.
Are the nerves setting in? That's the question. These are really uncharacteristic mistakes from both of these riders, and you just wonder, are they thinking about the points, or they're thinking about the situation instead of staying focused on the task at hand?
So Ben Watson then lucky to pick himself up from that one. I think he may have fallen to 4, so Coldenhoff would have gone through and taken a crucial point for the Netherlands. And there he is, and just what, about 18 seconds further up the track is Jeffrey Hurlings. So Holland, the Netherlands, in first and third now. Cairoli in second. Sorry, yeah, 18 seconds up the track, Cairoli. Watson, and then with that crash, so Coldenhoff now third. He was already about 32 seconds behind. But he will get promoted to third. So it's going to be a 1-3 for the Netherlands in this race as it stands right now.
Well, Lupino's got to be very smart here. You're still in control. Don't panic. Understand the situation, and you have to read the pit board. You have to understand the math and understand that you don't need to move forward.
Watch this crash here. Just caught the soft patch, and then back end. He was a passenger at that point. Watch him bang his head into the ground here. So I just wonder whether he's just sort of... and then a couple of corners later, into the corner, just jumped too long, overshot. Just corrected it, but not before he almost tipped over.
Just hate to see, there was no reason for him to push the issue there behind Savalas. I just don't understand even the motivation there to push the issue.
Looks like he may have regrouped. Italy are on 29 points. Long look across at the pit board for the number 48.
Cairoli oblivious to all of this. Has no idea what's happening behind him, and probably at the moment doesn't have time to worry about it. But he's putting in the race he needed to. This is a nice bounce back ride. I don't think he was overly concerned with Jeffrey Hurlings at the front. Just stay out of trouble, and that's really what Lupino should have been trying to do as well.
I think it was just unfortunate, and Van Donnick out as well. So Belgium will not score in race 2. And Van Donnick and Team Belgium, who started second before the gate drop in race 3,
we wondered
will not
earlier
feature in the overall.
We wondered if Van Donnick's strength would hold up throughout the day. He mentioned being sick, and on a day like this where it's taking a ton of energy to even circulate around this track, it's certainly caught up with him.
Antonio Cairoli and Team Italy are on the cusp of lifting the trophy for the 3rd time, but it's the only one from his cabinet that is missing. And right now, Italy are in pole position. They have a fantastic advantage over the Netherlands and Great Britain. Ben Watson picked himself up in 4th place after that fall. And that's still going to be a medal for Britain. They are 8 points clear of MFR. It was always going to be a big weekend for Team Italy here. Motocross of Nations at home here in Mantova. Perfect dry conditions yesterday. And completely different today, but the track very, very rideable. The rain did its damage early on when it rained pretty much for, what, 2 hours or so? Maybe more. But you see the dry line really starting to appear. Antonio Cairoli not wanting to take any risks. He doesn't need to. He's 20 seconds down, 22 seconds down on Jeffrey Hurlings, who cut him off at the start, down the start straight. But that inside gate, the difference. He was able to hold a nice tight line and still emerge in the first couple of positions.
And more importantly, you just stay out of trouble. Even if you come out 5, 6, 7, you stay out of the first turn pileup, you stay out of the drama, and you give yourself a chance to succeed, which he really never had in the first race.
So a couple of retirees then with Henry Jacobi, Cyril Janot, Petr Petrov, and now Brent Van Donnick. But Tony Cairoli just listening to that motorcycle, hoping that it just keeps on going.
And he's doing all the right things. He's riding calm, he's keeping low RPMs, and there's really no urgency in his riding, and there really shouldn't be. You see Glenn Coldenhoff, who was 16 seconds down to Tony Cairoli, so I don't think there's really any pressure that's going to be coming from there either.
So Hurlings leads away. Cairoli is in second. Coldenhoff is third. Actually, Ben Watson is gaining on his factory Yamaha teammate. So, and the fastest man on track that time around with a 2:11.2 compared to a 2:12 of Hurlings and the 13s of Cairoli and Coldenhoff. So Ben Watson looking to try and claim a point back if he can. Will it make a difference though? Who knows?
Will Sean Simpson be able to move forward? He's got Carlos Sabalis right in front of him. That would be the difference. If they could close those two down, maybe they would have a chance.
I mean, from Sean Simpson's perspective anyway, this has been a Herculean effort, because yesterday when he got landed on and broke that ligament in his right thumb, his throttle hand, let's not forget, where you're also having a break and you have that extra pressure on the thumb. As a result of that, he is putting in 2 solid rides. Of course, in the first race for him, Simpson came away with a very respectable 12th place, given the fact that it was already the second race of the day. Conditions far worse than yesterday and this morning. And here he is now in 7th place. So Watson in the background closing in on Coldenhoff. This was Cairoli a moment ago, just behind a back marker. Whoa, very lucky there. Hangs on to second place though. What's the gap between Coldenhoff and Watson? Coldenhoff's just gone through. I think we're waiting for Watson to come through now.
What's the opposite of forza, Tony? What is stay calm, Tony, in Italian? That's what they need to be telling you.
Tranquillo.
Tranquillo.
Tranquillo. Relax. So he looks very relaxed at the moment.
I thought the same until you showed me that highlight of him almost crashing.
Yeah. But just goes to show how easy it is to make a mistake around here.
Yeah, the track is treacherous. The lines are constantly changing too, which is probably an understated part of this racetrack. Is you come around, you think the line's going to go one direction, it's forming a different way and can catch you out.
I wonder if when they've looked at the statistics in the break, if they knew that, you know, 2 good results here. I mean, I'm sure they did, because you know, they were already leading going into the race. But you know, how good and the space between Belgium, if this, that, and the other. They've probably been told that Belgium are out. They've probably been told that, you know, the Netherlands are sort of kind of there or thereabouts. But I'm sure they would have given him the sign, just to say, look, all good. Whether they've told him it's gold yet, I don't know.
Right. Their biggest threats were the MFR and Belgium, and they both have had rough goes here. So I'm sure they had the Netherlands in the back of their mind. But, yeah, there was such a large gap there that it would have had to be catastrophic for them to close it down. 8
minutes plus 2 to go then. The final race of the day, the MXGP and Open Class riders at this 74th edition of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. Tony Cairoli just going through the motions as he searches for that elusive Motocross of Nations Peter Chamberlain trophy. His Red Bull KTM teammate Jeffrey Hurlings already 30 seconds clear. Here's what happened to Lupino earlier on in the race, though. Ooh, actually, pending penalties. Wow, pending penalties. Alessandro Lupino, I wonder what that is for. Is that
from the start?
For the start?
Yeah.
when he ran off track going into turn 2 and emerged the other side of the barrier then, because that will be very, very interesting indeed then. Is it going to be a penalty that robs them? Who knows? And what is the penalty? Is it a time penalty? Is it a position penalty? They will be looking at that. And so drama then in the late stages. 7 minutes to go, and if it's a time penalty, that's one thing. If it's a position penalty, it may be 10 places. And let's have a look what happened here then. So Lupino working his way down, off the side of the track there, and then comes all the way down the second straight, and then re-emerges here. Look, wow, yeah, there is no getting away with that one, is there?
It's challenging. The only way to fix that is to come back on where he went off, which he would be dead last. So I don't know which is better of the two.
So what is the points gap at the moment between Italy and the Netherlands then? 10 points. And if that's a 10 place penalty, will Italy still win, or will it be the Netherlands with 2 wins potentially by Jeffrey Hurlings? Wow. Italy would scratch a 20th from Van der Moosdijk and a 21 from Tony Cairoli. This is going to come down, if it does come down to a 10 penalty drop, 10 place drop and a tie, I think the Netherlands may get it, because their scratch result is 1 position better than Italy's, 20 to 21, and they also have 2 wins under their belt as well, potentially. Jeffrey winning his first race, which was race 2, and he's currently leading this one now. So,
well, I'm glad it's raining, because they may attempt to burn this place down if Italy doesn't win. Yeah, Lupino
has found himself in 8th place. He will need to find himself past Carlos Sabalis if he can, just to maybe keep this dream alive. And he's all over the back of him now as he goes down the start straight, surely. Well, there is the 22. They really need to let him know that message. There we go. There we go. That's critical information for him to know. He has to make this pass if they are going to get docked 10 places, if that is the penalty, let's say. What a thrilling climax to this Motocross of Nations here in Italy. Did you write the script, Paul? The script originally was a fairy tale retirement trophy gold medal for Antonio Cairoli, until the pending penalty sign came up. Well, my fairy tale team is about 8,000 miles away, so I would like to see Tony win. And, well, the real question here is up to Lupino. Can he make a move? He already made a mistake, gave points away, but he has a chance for redemption right here. Well, this is assuming that it's a 10th place penalty, of course. So Carlos Sabalis, he doesn't know the situation that's unfolding behind him, and at the top of the championship here for this Motocross of Nations event. Lupino needs to find his way past. His lap time last time was a 2:13.8 compared to a 2:15.3 from the Latvian. He can't afford to relax, but the last time we saw him try to find his way past Sabalis, it ended in tears. Well, surely he's going to be thinking about that, but you can tell by the urgency of your mechanics how important this pass is, so certainly he's gotten the message by now. Getting closer. How offline? See, that this morning looked like a good line as well, and he's getting good drive there, but then just eating that big part of berm right at the end. Having to think outside the box. You're not going to pass by following, but how risky is it going into the outside deep mud like that? Well, yeah, that line is not ideal. I know he's searching for a passing line, but he's really not within the strike zone yet, so I would save a move like that for right when you're on the rear wheel. 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Lap times from Jeffrey Hurlings, the race leader, are 2 minutes and 10 that time around. He's 34 seconds clear. Just running too deep into the that turn there, but here is your race leader. Is it going to be back-to-back victories for the Netherlands? Certainly could be, and it didn't look great going into this race for them to have any chance. I believe they were in 5th place going in.
if they were able to steal this win away from Italy, it would be to credit this man right here, number 3.
I wonder how long it is going to be before we realize what the official outcome is. I guess when we get over the line, we will see whether those penalties have been implemented or not. At the moment, everything is as normal. It's going to be 3 laps to go, look. 2:15 on the clock. His lap time then was a 2:10. Spain and Poland probably getting into each other there.
Seeing who can rev their bike the highest there.
No such problems for Jeffrey Hurlings. In fact, after his race 2 interview, his first race, of course, of the day, when he was in the second race of 3, he said, just try and get a good start, and if I can get to the front, let the rest take care of itself type of thing. You know, he can only do that. Here's his teammate, Glenn Koldenoff. He's in 3rd place. He's 16 seconds behind Tony Cairoli. So he's not going to close that down, barring a mistake, of course, from the 9-time world champion. But crucially, it's down to Alessandro Lupino to find his way past Carlos Sabalis, just to be sure that if there is a 10th place penalty, that they have a point to play with.
Well, and crucially there, Koldenoff was able to pull back away from Ben Watson too, because that could have been the point given away in either direction as well.
Well, Watson in 4th place. Simpson is up to 6th. And that's also going to be close between the Netherlands and Great Britain. As it stands at the minute, it's Italy, Netherlands, Great Britain. They are your gold, silver, bronze medalists here. They've got 7 points over MFR, have the Brits. So the top 3 would all be within 1 point if it stays like this.
This is an incredible script you wrote, Paul. Kudos across the board.
I try my best, Jason. You know, when I'm entertaining you, it's
you really do it all.
Right. Lupino has found his way past Carlos Sabalis. That's why there was joy down there in pit lane in Italy, because they know they would have had word as well, possibly from the FIM. They would have been on the radios. What is the penalty? What is the situation? And if they've said, yeah, 10 points, which is 10 places, they've gone, you need Sabalis. He's found his way past. Is there still a gold medal to be hung around the neck of Team Italy?
Oh, and Lupino's head bounces around so much. I can't tell if it's intentional or what's happening. I'm sure it's just part of his riding style.
I think he's probably just hurt from the crash and just going through the motions as best he can. Saw him get flicked off the back of the bike quite violently into the turn. Would have kind of wrenched his neck muscles a little bit, plus banged his head into the ground. So I just think he probably won't remember this at all.
The greatest day he'll never remember.
Tony Cairoli, his teammate, there in 2nd position. So as it stands now then, as we go into the penultimate lap, Jeffrey Hurlings, Tony Cairoli, Koldenoff, Watson, Bobryshev, Simpson, Lupino 7, Sabalis 8.
Well, imagine all of this drama, and Tony Cairoli has no idea. He's completely unaware. He probably thinks they're cruising to an easy win here, not knowing all of the math drama that's unfolding behind them.
Being urged on by the home support down there in pit lane. Tony Cairoli is within touching distance of a gold medal in the Motocross of Nations, along with his teammate Mattia Guadagnini, who has been on fire here today, and Alessandro Lupino, who has also had to dig deep. Glenn Koldenoff still there in 3rd place. It's not going to be enough at this stage for the Netherlands, even with his teammate leading the way. Cairoli just tiptoeing around. Has no idea. He probably knows that they're in a good position. The circuit announcer will certainly let the fans know. And the support for Tony Cairoli and Alessandro Lupino in this final race will be immense.
Well, you would assume that Lupino is wondering himself, how is race direction going to handle that first corner incident? I doubt that he thinks that this is the difference, that they would have already made a decision, but he's probably wondering how that's all going to go down post-race.
Arminas Jasikonis getting lapped by Jeffrey Hurlings. He is in 16th position for Lithuania. Hurlings, meanwhile, taking the 2-lap board as he gets his head down, puts in a 2:09.5.
And it's been a clinic all day from Jeffrey Hurlings, really all weekend. Nobody's really even been close to his level.
Just having a bit of a wobble there, TC. Just having to back off just to make sure he didn't tip over the side of the rut to the right. But a grueling racetrack, physically demanding, mentally challenging as well. You see the ruts on the faces of the jumps. Have to be absolutely inch perfect.
The gap up to 43 seconds over Tony, who's clearly cruising at this point, but I think it also speaks to the level that Herlings has been at. Just incredible laps, and even now, you know, 4 seconds better than the next rider on track.
Alessandro Lupino. Whoa. Heart in my mouth, let alone his.
Well, and he's got pressure behind him too.
Sabalis is back there. Sabalis back there knocking on the door. And if he finds a way past Lupino, the Netherlands could be taking the Chamberlain Trophy for the second time in succession.
Brilikhailov is just behind Sabalis as well.
So Seba Brilikov, yeah, good ride for him as well for MFR. He's crept into the fray. He is in 9th place. He set his fastest lap of the race that time around at 2:12. And no wonder there are concerned looks on the faces down at Team Italy. This has got to be the longest race of Lupino's career. Clearly making mistakes, clearly not himself. But just going, watch this here, just goes offline, runs into the deep stuff, folds the front, had to use every ounce of upper body strength. Even Davide Cairoli there. Just saying why. Meanwhile, making his way into the final turn to take the 1 lap board, an immaculate Jeffrey Herlings. Will it be enough? Will his and Koldanov's 1-3 be enough to clinch it? Is there more drama that will involve Alessandro Lupino and Italy on the final lap? It all looked so cruisy about 15 minutes ago. Evgeny Bobryshev, I think. Number 75. Where is he in the race?
Top 5.
So he's in 5th place behind Ben Watson. So it's been a good weekend for MFR. They are going to just miss the podium. This will be their best result in a long time. They have won it a couple of times, of course, but when they were USSR, 1978, the last time they were victorious.
See, Lupino's got a little bit of breathing room here, which he needed badly. This was the corner where he almost went down last lap. You see him change his line there. He cuts the rut a little bit shorter so he's not so overextended.
He has done well to get rid of Carlos Sabalis. Jeffrey Herlings already well into his final lap. Alessandro Lupino, he would love it if the checkered flag went out in about 4 or 5 corners time, but he has got another 2¼ minutes or thereabouts to run.
You see Jeffrey Herlings still pushing here, almost like it's a training ride for the rest of the MXGP rounds to come.
And he has just been absolutely on fire. 48 seconds clear of Cairoli, a minute clear of Koldanov, 1 minute 49 clear. And we've got riders down, but none of those are in the running for the nation's top classification. Jeffrey Herlings on the home stretch. Picks his way through the ruts and the waves. And Jeffrey Herlings is going to go 1-1 at the Motocross of Nations. He does it here in Italy. He has no idea yet whether it's going to be enough to give the Netherlands a team trophy or not, or a gold medal. We will have an anxious wait. Antonio Cairoli is 40-odd seconds, 45 seconds down. At the moment, in his mind, with the support around the track, he probably thinks we've won it, but he also knows that a mistake from his teammate may decide it. And that is not a good pressure to have. They are anxiously waiting down there in pit lane. This second place alone is not enough for Italy. They need Lupino to come home in 7th position. In fact, Sean Simpson is in 6th place, Lupino in 7th. Cairoli over the line. He still has no clue at this moment in time. He doesn't celebrate. He has a long wait. Here's his teammate. He's up onto the first hill. Severbrylikov right behind him. They can't believe it. Those tickers are ticking away frantically, nervously. Here's Lupino. Brylikov has found his way past Carlis Sabalis. What an anxious wait the Italians have down there in pit lane.
If he can get through this corner clean, it's almost impossible to make a pass from here on out other than a crash.
Lupino counting down the corners. He has this left, a right, a left and a right. 4 turns to go. Are there going to be joyous scenes as he crosses the line this time around? Oh, big panic rev as he goes through. He hits the line now, and Italy are going to be crowned world champions once again for the 3rd time, and for the first time since 2002. The pass on Sabalis made all the difference, and Italy are celebrating tonight.
Unbelievable job. This is what everybody wanted. Send Tony off the right way. He finally gets this win after a huge crash in Sardinia last week. They carry him off on a stretcher, and then everything is made whole this weekend.
And finally, Antonio Cairoli can celebrate. And Mattia Guadagnini can't believe it either.
He was the one that got this job done, in my opinion. What a great performance by Guadagnini.
2 solid rides from Guadagnini. 5th and 6th for him, so 11 points. Still the lowest scorer, apart from Tony Cairoli's 2nd position, actually, in that last race. But finally, yeah, so they've added those penalty points. So it was 10 points added, 10 positions. And Italy then finished with 37. And Italy by 1 point over the Netherlands. What a result. There is going to be pandemonium down at the podium. And Tony Cairoli finally gets his hands on the biggest trophy that has eluded him, the Peter Chamberlain Trophy. He does it here at home in Italy, in Mantova. And already the podium area is starting to fill up with ecstatic and enthusiastic Italian fans. Congratulations, Tony Cairoli, Mattia Guadagnini, and Alessandro Lupino. World champions 2021. Here is Lisa.
Tony Cairoli.
Good luck getting that interview, Lisa.
Tony Cairoli, a massive day for you and the team. For the 3rd year, you're the 2021 Motocross of Nations winner. Almost didn't happen, but you guys got the job done.
Yeah, it's amazing. Of course, we are really happy about it. And I was hearing the speaker that something was going on with Alessandro, and I was like, okay, it's the last chance I have to make it up, and we make it up, so I'm really happy.
If a picture could talk 1,000 words, you've got 1,001 right there with Mattia Guadagnini's response. First time in this competition, he walks away with a gold medal. On the other end of the spectrum, Tony Cairoli's last appearance, he walks away with that elusive gold medal. And then there's Alessandro Lupino. What a race he had. Italy, world champions for the 3rd time, but for the first time for Tony Cairoli in this Motocross of Nations event. Thomas Traversini, the team manager, finally gets his hands on it. 1999. Andrea Bartolini, Alessio Chico Chiodi, Claudio Federici. 2002, Bartolini, Chiodi and Alessandro Puzar now here in Italy. It is Mattia Guadagnini, Alessandro Lupino and Antonio Cairoli. Herlings wins the race from Cairoli, Koldenoff, Watson and Bobryshev. Simpson, a fine 6th place for him ahead of Brilikov, Sabalis, Borromei and Bengtson. Overall, Italy by 1 point in what was a dramatic final few moments. The Netherlands do not successfully defend. They walk away with silver medal. Great Britain once again on the podium, riding the 7, 8 and 9. A high-scoring motocross of nations today. 37 points for the winners. Alessandro Lupino, finally, everything sinking in. He can't believe it. Mattia Guadagnini can't believe it. They both had bronze medals in 2013 at Teushenthal in Germany, did Cairoli and Lupino. They now add a gold medal to the list. And for Team Italy, in terms of podiums now in this event, they now have 8 podiums. 2 wins, 3 thirds, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, and another win here today. 2 wins before, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. They've also been 4th on 5 occasions, 5th on 5 occasions. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? The first 2 races were from the Swiss Yamaha duo of Arno Tonus and Valentin Guillot, but in this race, it was the Yamaha of Ben Watson, once again. Ben Watson picking up the final Foxhole Shot Award of the day then. What a day for what a day for Yamaha in that classification. All Yamahas, Watson, Valentin Guillot and Tonus. And the final classification here as the podium with fans here in Italy is about to erupt. Take a look at the highlights before we go anywhere, shall we, of what just happened in race number 3. The gate dropped. Cairoli got a good jump over on the far side, but not as good as Herlings, who closed down the door immediately. But top left of your screen, Lupino went straight on at the first turn, and he emerged down here in turn 2, off the track just there. Later on in the race, there was a penalty pending, came up on the timing screen, and if that stuck, it would be 10 places docked. He threw away a fantastic position here as he went after Carlos Sabalis, and as soon as he picked himself up, ran off the track again, managed to stay upright though. Ben Watson then threw away 3rd place, lucky to pick himself up and rejoin and come home in 4th for Great Britain. Tony Cairoli, he said he could hear all kinds of things going on with the circuit announcer. He too making 1 or 2 mistakes. But Jeffrey Herlings out on his front by a country mile, 55 seconds in the end, his margin of victory. Another anxious moment for Lupino, who just found his way past Sabalis to gain that all-important point after his 10th place penalty. Herlings won the race. Cairoli crossed the line in 2nd ahead of Koldenoff and Watson. Bobryshev was 5th, Simpson 6th, Brilikov 7th, Sabalis 8th, Borromei 9, Bengtson 10. Because in the end, when he crossed the line, Alessandro Lupino was given that 10th place penalty, eventually came home in 17th, but it was enough for Italy to be crowned world champions for the 3rd time. And scenes of pandemonium down there on the finish line and up there in pit lane. Getting ready for the podium then. The last time we saw something like this, right? Team GB on the podium, 3rd overall. Sean Simpson, damaged thumb, heavily strapped up. They finished with 39 points. Sean Simpson, Ben Watson, Conrad Muse. Bronze medalist again. Second overall, the Netherlands. They arrived here as defending champions They leave here defeated by 1 point. Roman the Mostike, Glenn Coldenhoff, Jeffrey Hurlings. I don't think we need to announce who the winners are. We already know. Italy are world champions. Mattia Guadagnini can hardly contain his excitement. Tony Cairoli and Alessandro Lupino. And if anybody deserved it, Team Italy do, just on the basis that it's Tony Cairoli's final year as a professional racer, the only trophy he hasn't won. And it's right here at home in Italy. The last time they got on the podium in the Motocross of Nations in Italy was 1986 at Maggiora, when it was Massimo Contini, Michele Rinaldi and Corrado Maddi, the father-in-law to the team manager there, Thomas Travasini. Claudia Giordani, the CONI vice president, handing the third place trophy to, not the official third place trophy, but to Team GP. Mark Chamberlain there, the team manager. This is the official third place trophy, now being awarded by George Vegas, the FIM president. What a good run Mark Chamberlain's had. 2017 he first took the job. He's been on the podium 17, 18, 19. We didn't run last year, but now 2021. CEO in Front Motor Racing, David Luongo, presenting the commemorative trophy there to the Netherlands. Jeffrey Hurlings, Glenn Coldenhoff and Roman the Mostike back on the podium again, but they would have loved to have stood on the top step. There is the second place trophy. Looks remarkably like the Chamberlain trophy there.
Edizione 74, anno domini 2021, dalle mani di Mitch Covington, il responsabile per mostrare oggi, nelle mani della nazione.
Mitch Covington, SVP of Sports Marketing at Monster Energy, handing a winner's trophy to Team Italy, not the Peter Chamberlain trophy. We will wait a little longer for that one. You take that one, put that one down, the big one is coming. Fantastic scenes down here on the podium in Mantova. A slight hiccup there, the wrong trophy. That's the second place trophy, but they won't mind about that. Italy are world champions for the third time. There we go. Quick podium shot there. Selfie. Anyway, Antonio Alia Portella, the FIM CMS director, getting ready to hand the gold plates to Team Italy. There will be medals presented later as well. Thomas Travasini, Antonio Cairoli, Alessandro Lupino and Mattia Guadagnini. Team Italy victorious here in Mantova.
Il miglior pilota per ognuna delle cilindrate e complimenti miglior pilota della classe
René Hoffer looks like he's won the MX2 category. So solid performances from René Hoffer then. And he will get the MX2 gold plate for being best MX2 rider here today.
Ed ora andiamo per la Open, il più veloce, ha vinto 2 manche, non poteva essere altrimenti, è Jeffrey Hurlings.
Jeffrey Hurlings, of course, winning the Open class with 2 wins.
E l'ultima, sì, è una festa che ci vogliamo godere anche se piove, ma noi siamo coperti, quindi non c'è
Just trying to work out who was victorious in the MXGP category.
Della classe MXGP che è Ben Watson.
Ben Watson wins the MXGP category. Good lad, and congratulations. He had no idea, we had no idea. Congratulations, Ben Watson, on being the most consistent rider in MXGP this weekend.
In queste mattine in apertura l'abbiamo sentito. E questa mattina
third in race 1, 4th in race 2. Good job, well done.
Dov'è la vittoria che porta la chioma, che sia di Roma e Dio la creò. Ci accorse, si affronti alla morte, si affronti alla morte l'Italia. L'Italia si accorse, si affronti alla morte, si affronti alla morte l'Italia.
Tony Cairoli, Mattia Guadagnini, Alessandro Lupino, team manager Thomas Traversini win the 74th edition of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations here at Mantova in Italy. It's their 3rd victory in the competition and the 1st since 2002. And it's time to get busy with the fizzy. There's the Peter Chamberlain Trophy there, look, on the 2nd step of the podium. So, but I'm sure that'll be all sorted by the time we get to the press conference. But these guys will party tonight, even though we're going to be in Germany in a week's time. But the euphoria down there, or up there on the top step of the podium. Finally, the guy on the right-hand side, Antonio Cairoli, getting his hands on the Peter Chamberlain Trophy, the Motocross of Nations gold medal. And he does it here in Italy. And actually, it's the 2nd time Italy have got on the podium at their home nations. The first one, of course, 1986. And what a memorable day that was as well, especially if you're an American with the Dream Team. Ben Watson wins the MXGP class. He will take the gold plate home as well as another bronze medal, along with Sean Simpson and Conrad Muse in his first Motocross of Nations event. So some of the best moments said from the 3rd and final race of the day, the deciding race here at Mantova. More drama at the start. A tricky and treacherous racetrack. There were thrills and spills and all kinds of things going on. And the fans over there on the hillside were in the mood for victory here in Italy. Cairoli got a good jump. Hurlings closed him down early. Lupino in the middle. He went straight on at the first turn. And after that, drama would follow. There would be a 10-place penalty late on in the race. Not because of that, He picked himself up from that crash, rejoined the race. Cairoli had anxious moments as well. The pass on Carlos Sabalis was needed, and he got it, and that was the reaction. And the celebrations will go long into the night. Italy, rain in Italy. Here is Lisa. Good luck with this one. Leyland.
Team Italy, massive congratulations. You're the 2021 winners. You've all got the gold plate. Almost didn't happen. There was a bit of drama, but you got the job done.
Super happy, of course. We did everything we had in our power. I was not in 100% of shape, of course, but I gave everything I had, and I think the guys did more than me, and we deserve this title.
Congratulations. Our silver medalist today. Our silver medalist today, we have Team Netherlands. Bittersweet, all solid races, but it's just 1 point separating you and Team Italy, but you're on the podium again.
Yeah, it's quite a disappointing day, you know. We came in for the win, got second. It's definitely not what we wanted, and I think I left it all down in that first turn, in that first moto, and got down, and was really difficult to come back, and only got 15th, so I think we lost it there.
Thank you. Our bronze medalist today, Team GB, Ben. Team GB, congratulations guys. There was injuries, there was like some first turn crashes, solid performances from all of you. 4th consecutive year Team GB have been on the box.
We're just keeping the streak alive. I mean, Conrad's first time, Ben rode amazing. The old dog still got it, even with the gammy thumb. So, you know, these guys are a big part of the team, and I thought I'd blown it for them yesterday. So,
those situations all day, we just, like I had a big crash in the last race, and you just think, oh no, it's gone. And then both the guys just stay consistent and just plug them results in. So overall, no, we couldn't be any more proud.
Well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good, solid team performance from Team Great Britain then. Sean Simpson, Ben Watson, Conrad Muse, and the team manager, and everybody behind the scenes with Mark Chamberlain. Another bronze medal, but a class win in MXGP for Ben Watson. The Netherlands came here to win. They missed it by a point. Jeffrey Hurlings, Glenn Koldenhoff, Rowan van der Moosdijk, and Patrice Assendelf. And again, everybody in their backroom staff. Jeffrey Hurlings couldn't do any more than the 1-1 victory in the open category. But Team Italy, finally, with Tony Cairoli in the team. He, as a rider individually, picking up that elusive gold medal, the Peter Chamberlain Trophy, along with his teammates Alessandro Lupino and Mattia Guadagnini. Thomas Traversini, the team manager. And what a day. Congratulations, Team Italy, victorious here at the Motocross of Nations. Right, we are out of time. We will be back, of course, next week for the MXGP of Germany. We will be back next year in September for the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations when it goes to Redbud in the USA. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks to Jason Thomas, who's already had to leave. We will be back next week for Germany, the MXGP there at Teuston-Tal. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the race. See you then. Bye for now.